My parents went to New Zealand when I was like 6.
And they're
7.
British?
They're British, yeah. So I never felt like I belonged in New Zealand at all.
Really?
Like, no, I was always speaking in this kind of weird English, Northern English accent, and I've never felt quite there. And then I went back to England, and they were like, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Yeah, Crocodile Dundee's here." You know, they probably like, "Oh, g'day, mate. How are you? Where's your snake?" I don't know what that accent is.
This is a knife.
Yeah.
That's the one.
There you go.
The knife.
But and then I'm come to Sweden, and people are just not that bothered. But no, they can't. They don't care if I'm British or New Zealand. I
It's
think
the same thing.
You're just like an
It's the same
English-speaking man.
Casual racism over there. Just same thing.
really good on this sofa.
Same type of white person.
Yes, but how does it feel for you? Do you like, because your mother is she's Chinese,
Yeah.
but from India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was born and raised in India because her grandparents migrated to India in the 1920s. And so my grandmother was raised there, and then my mom was born and raised there. And then, but they always kept in the diaspora. So so my grandmother married within the diaspora, keeping the bloodline pure. You know?
Nothing will get into the bloodline.
Like 100% ethnically Chinese.
Oh, yes.
Okay. But then, so my mom is born and raised in India, and then she left and came to Sweden to just work. And my dad is born and raised in Hong Kong. So, and he's from South China originally, but then it's super close and stuff. So, and then he came to Sweden, and they met here. And so when I was growing up, I had Chinese culture, but then I had Indian culture, like really prevalently.
Yeah.
And I realized, because every time I met an Indian person as a kid, and even now a little bit, I'm so excited. And I start talking about Indian culture, and I want to just really show off that I know about Indian culture.
Yeah.
And then I realized I can't do that, because that's essentially what like men who've studied in Asia do with me.
Okay.
They're like, I went to university in Shanghai. And I'm like, great for you. So
It's because you try to find, you know the connection, but you don't want to be too obvious with the connection, because it just sounds like really
racist.
Like, like we're, you know,
really fetishizing. Yeah.
In all of this, how do you relate to your Swedishness?
My Swedishness is, I never really felt like I belonged in Sweden, if I'm honest. I feel very Swedish because now I lived in the UK for like eight years.
Okay, that's a long time.
And Al, you're the only person that I really can talk to about it. Well, the comedy scene at least.
Yeah.
But so when I'm in the UK, I feel quite Swedish, because I feel like I'm like, oh, okay, I see where my my Swedish kind of is.
Yeah.
But then when I'm in Sweden, I feel like an immigrant, or I feel like an immigrant kid, basically, because Sweden, growing up at least, I grew up in a suburb in Gothenburg called Hammarkullen.
Yeah.
So it was quite segregated from just the inner city, but also from Swedish culture.
Yeah.
And so you just end up creating this like third culture with everybody else from every different country that lives in your little kind of immigrant suburb. And then I think you also, when you're an immigrant kid here, you tend to latch on to American culture, because Swedish like media is very Americanized.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's what we watched on TV growing up. And so I was never, with Swedish culture, I never got into like Hasse och Tage or Papphammar or, you know, like Galenskaparna, Nile City, Hassan. I never really knew about Swedish comedy until I started comedy.
Yeah, wow.
I just knew about
Yeah.
American
Because
stuff.
Swedish comics really talk about those with the
Yes.
formative kind of programs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
moments of their childhood.
Kind
you
of
know?
their
Sure.
Monty Python.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
But you always loved comedy, or
Yeah. I loved comedic acting, I think. I loved SNL. And I didn't understand what it was. So I thought it was acting. So I wanted to act. But then I discovered Russell Peters.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
So when we, because I grew up, but I'm born 87, so I was part of the teenagers who came up with YouTube.
Yeah.
And so the first,
I remember when I saw that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How old were you? 40?
I know. Have you got a special out?
No, but I wanna. I'm thinking I'm gonna record one next year. I think.
World exclusive.
But you're so
An
busy
hour.
acting.
I have been acting.
Do you call yourself an actor, or you're just trying to remember your lines?
I just try to remember my lines.
Yeah.
Like I was just. That's why I have these bangs. That's why I
Yeah.
have this fringe right now.
I was going to say something, but that's fine.
I
If it
know.
was for a role, that's okay.
Yeah. Everybody thinks I'm going through a life crisis,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Well, those bangs are skibbity dee.
Banging. Yeah.
Is that good, skibbity dee?
No,
No,
just
that's-
those bangs are banging.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah.
Did
My
you listen
God.
to hip hop growing up and stuff?
No, I did not. I was very much into punk.
You
And
too.
That's how young you are. I said punk, and you went, you too.
No.
Like you
No, I
put
just
those
know
two
that you
together, and
like
they're the
you
most so far. I'm into you too, but I was
God
kind
save
of
the
like
Queen.
and dancing like pogoing and
Leather jackets?
Yeah.
no leather jackets, but tight jeans,
Doc Martens.
Doc Martens, and bizarre haircuts, and never had like the mohawk thing.
Yeah.
Fringes.
One year I got it shaved here, and do you remember that House Martins Caravan of Love?
House
Oh my
Martin.
god! Look at the three of you. Huh? No, there was a video, House Martin's Caravan of Love, and they shaved a cross in their hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I did that. No makeup.
Nope.
No,
Keep it cool.
proper
Okay.
pure. My skin is my
Straight edge.
temple. So acting. Has it been something you enjoy though?
I love the thing. If I'm honest, I've always wanted to be an actor or do acting, but I was too scared. I did some theater when I was younger, but not seriously. But I never had the guts to pursue acting in a professional way or even educational way. And then I just fell into it through comedy.
Yeah.
Great.
So I don't call myself an actor, but I do like the process of acting, and I do like I like the work of it.
Nice of you to bring that up. But as an actor in my day, no, as an actor myself, I'm not an actor.
Have you done acting?
I've done acting,
Yeah.
but here's the thing with acting.
One school play.
You guys had like a
couple of
series
TV
out and
performances. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Thank you.
Series. Sorry.
Corpse number 3.
Yeah.
Yes, but my thing with acting is, A, I don't believe I'm any good at it. B, it's the paranoia.
Okay.
Because in here, if you say something funny, you'll laugh, or or you can do something, and it's like stand-up comedy. You say it, the reaction's
direct.
instant.
All right,
Yeah.
But I would do acting, and I'd go like that, and they'd go, "Cut, brilliant," and
Yeah.
I'd go, "Really? Was that honestly?" And I'm putting out my hand
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire time, going,
feedback.
"Yeah, I'm
feedback.
that was shit, wasn't it?" You know?
Yeah, it's very different from stand-up in that you don't get instant feedback, and the only person who can give you that is the director. But they're so busy with everything else that
Yeah.
I've learned it's so counterintuitive as a comedian, but I've learned that if they don't say anything, it's probably good.
Good.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
you've done.
You've done that Marvel film. I actually thought you were a journalist in that.
No, so you know what I was? So when when I first read for it, it was the role of like a community person. It was just like somebody. So the storyline in the Marvel film for that particular film is that everybody disappeared in the blip from one of the Avengers films. And then 5 years later, people came back from the blip. So I was one of the people who came back from the blip. And then Spider-Man, I was in the Spider-Man movie Far From Home. So he did a fundraising gala for the people who disappeared and came back from the blip. So I was just supposed to be somebody in the community hall just asking him questions. But because they had like a press crew around, they just named everybody reporter to make it easier for people or something.
Did you get to ask a question then?
I did, yeah.
What was the question?
What was the question? I asked,
What's webs all about, hey?
yeah.
Do you like spiders?
Those damn flies. What would you, if you had one like ultimate question in life?
To
ask
whomever.
To whoever.
Okay, cool.
What?
Dead or alive? You get to choose.
Can you cure lactose intolerance?
Ah!
Maybe I'd ask that.
You can do better.
Well, I really like cheese, but I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh my
me
God, that's
too.
like one of those bloody genie
fart a
things when
lot.
they blow it the first two
You had
questions.
3 questions.
Yeah.
No, maybe I'd
Can
ask,
I have one more question? That is it. Ah!
maybe I'd ask what are you the most proud of? Because I'm interested in people's life philosophies, possibly. So it's like, what do you think is your biggest struggle within yourself
Yeah.
in your life, basically? And what, if it's somebody at the end of their life, what was it in your life? Yeah, I think that would be my question.
Nice.
If you want a sincere answer.
That's good.
Alpitcher deep guest. Wow. We went Titanic kind of world there. Wow.
Yeah.